Welcome to my sacred circle. Welcome to drawing down the moon system of Reiki. Welcome to healing with Ki. This is another video in a series of videos that will continue over the next several months. It's about 60 videos in total. This series includes 54 cards of the Oracle deck Healing with Ki, which introduces several different wavelengths or frequencies or ways of being with Universal Ki. If you follow the series right from number 1 through to 60, you'll notice that you'll be following me along on about a year and a day journey of connecting with different frequencies, different energies, and different ways of experiencing the world. Are the Healing with Ki cards. They are my life's work. They are a set of 54 curated inspirational and educational lessons, all about Universal Ki, Universal Energy, and how to connect with it and experience it and enjoy it. The cards, the companion book that goes along with it, this video series, as well as videos that go along with the companion book, are all created tools to empower you and inspire you to change your world and change your life. They're designed not only to shed light on the issues that you're asking about. If you ask a question, as with any oracle card, the card brings to you what needs your attention. But with my cards, they also guide you in connecting with the right energy, the right vibe to bring balance to imbalances that are being brought to your attention. Because when we heal ourselves, we heal the world around us. When we do our inner work, our outer world shifts. And each card introduces an exercise, a meditation, or a ritual that helps to make that shift either in your inner world or your outer world. A little bit about Reiki, because we do talk about it a lot in this series. If you have been attuned to Reiki, newly or ages ago, you can use your Reiki to deepen your experience with these cards, or vice versa. You can use these cards to deepen your experience with Reiki. But the intention is not that you must have Reiki to work with these cards. I wrote this book, this deck, specifically to show you that you don't actually need to be connected to anything, because you already are. You already are connected to all of these energies that we're bringing to your attention. We're simply needing to open ourselves up and acknowledge them and recognize them and feel them and make them a part of us again. They're already there. They're just waiting for you to notice them. I'm Lisa Ayres. I'm a holistic healer. I am a Reiki master teacher, which is why I talk about Reiki. I'm a practicing pagan, and I have been working with Ki professionally for over 25 years. Unofficially, my whole life. Some of us just naturally come to this. The series began with Imbolc, which is new beginnings, which is the perfect way to start any new journey. Video 2 introduced the Ki of the full moon, the vibe of the full moon. It helped us to recognize what we have to be grateful for and to make a request to create a deep connection with the moon goddess. The third video introduced card number 1, which is releasing anger as the moon shrinks. As the moon shrinks, we release things. The fourth video was card number 2, releasing anxiety during the new moon energy. The fifth video was card number 3, as we started to bring in new energy, things that we want in our life. We've let go of stuff. Now what do we want to bring in? Card 3 was inviting loving compassion and kindness into our lives. The sixth video, card number 4, was welcoming gratitude into our hearts. And this last video of the 5 Reiki principles video number 7, is the last of the 5 principles. Then we move on to exercises to bring in specific vibrations. Not that we haven't been bringing in specific vibrations, but it's just a different way of looking at it. In this video, we're moving on to another vibe that we want to increase in our lives, and that is the vibe of diligence. Because we're human. We're not perfect. We have to remind ourselves of why we're doing what we're doing and where we want to be going and how we want to get there. We've got to do that on a regular basis. We need to be diligent. We don't want to just allow the world to sweep us off in any direction that the river is flowing. We want to have a little bit of control and intention behind our lives. So just for this moment, think about this. What does diligence have to do with this? Can you be honest and full of integrity? Are you truly honest in all that you do all of the time? The answer is no, because we're human. Do you really believe in everything that you do in every single moment? Or are you judging yourself? Are you questioning yourself? Do your actions reflect your current value system? These are really hard questions. These are really hard questions to start asking ourselves. We're starting to get into real truth. We're connecting with deep, dark truths now. And it's natural to shy away from that because it's painful and it's uncomfortable and it's human instinct, it's human survival instinct to shy away from those things that are uncomfortable. But it is in our shadow selves that we find that deep healing and that great strength. So it's not overnight work. It's not overnight work. It can take years of self-reflection and work. And actually, it's supposed to take years of self-reflection and work because every stage of your life is different. And every stage of your life will provide you with new opportunities to reevaluate because you have new knowledge and new experience to compare. So remember to be kind and compassionate with yourself and be willing to forgive yourself because we're all going to make mistakes. It's part of this existence. Those mistakes are valid learning experiences. When we let go of guilt and instead we listen to that curiosity, when we stand in our integrity and we ask with curiosity, when we open ourselves up to love and compassion, this is when we allow real healing to begin. So, just let that sink in for a sec. When we open ourselves up to standing in integrity and curiosity, love and compassion, that's when real healing can begin. Think about your values. Your values shift and change throughout your life. They're supposed to do that. If they didn't, nothing in your life would have changed. It would be static. Everything would be exactly the same. And that's not really human existence. So we actually need to be curious with ourselves and question our motivations regularly because everything changes in life. That's the nature of the world. Each life stage is going to give us a different set of values, a different set of experiences, a different set of reasoning behind what we're doing. So it's important to check in with yourself to see if what you think is important is still actually important. We often kind of get stuck on autopilot. Well, these are my morals, these are my standards. But ask yourself why, right? I love that urban myth, that urban story about the ham, that, 3 generations of women cut the end off the ham. And when the husband finally asks all 3 generations, like the great grandmother's like, oh, we do that because the ham doesn't fit into the pot. Well, life circumstances have changed over 3 generations. Maybe your morals, maybe your standards, maybe your reasoning has changed too. So think about whether or not your values are actually still important to you. And then remember the purpose of the principles. It's to illuminate the path towards contentment and spiritual enlightenment, and to remedy all manners of imbalance. So as we learn, we will evolve. And as we evolve, so should our values evolve. The principles help us to live in the moment, free of old unhealthy patterns that cause stale vibrations in our energetic system. So we want to incorporate these principles into our daily philosophies, which encourages us to regularly evolve and improve ourselves. We're always taking steps forward, right? So think back over the past several videos as you've worked along with me, and think about how you may have shifted and changed as you started thinking about these 5 principles in your life. Have you experienced spiritual development? Have you started maybe questioning your morals and your ethical standards? Why do I feel that way? Why do I choose to do that? Why don't I choose to do this? You may have noticed changes in your relationships. Have you noticed that the way that you're interacting with people is changing? The way that people are interacting with you is changing. Have you been able to avoid situations or activities that cause you discomfort or dis-ease, right? Have you noticed a more mindful awareness of your daily experience? That's the key. That's the key. Because that mindful awareness allows us to make choices in every moment. And that's what we want. Remember that the ideals are based upon Buddhist teachings that remind us to remain in the present time, not worrying about the future or the past, but what's right here in front of me right now. And they teach us that we have a new beginning in every single moment. Every single moment, every second that you recognize, oh, I'm here and now, I can make a different decision. Or I can choose to ride this wave because it's really wonderful. We are in a more enlightened state. We're in a more connected state. We're in a state of flow, and that's where we want to be. So we can choose to evolve in each and every moment. Imagine that. What would happen in 24 hours if for 24 hours worth of moments you chose to evolve? Where would you be? Right? The principles teach us that when we remain diligent in our beliefs, ethics, and standards, we gain control over our own lives and our own destinies. Remember that they are a philosophy for life that leads us down the path to our true nature, our Buddha nature. And that's the genuine recognition and irrefutable acknowledgement of the divine within ourselves and within each and every one of us and each and every one living being on this planet. And maybe even the rocks and stones and mountains and the planet herself. Like, feel that truth. Feel that truth in your body. It's kind of a nice place to be. So what's the work related to this card, related to diligence, related to doing your work, your spiritual work, honestly, truthfully, in every moment that we can? On the night of the next dark moon, and we do the dark moon because the dark moon is when we turn inside and we look inside and we ask the hard questions, we do the hard work. Try this meditation to help you connect with your most important values. Again, remember your values change, so you're going to do this exercise once a year, once a season. Do it regularly is the point. Because knowing your true values allows you to remain in your integrity and stand in your own power. If you're not fully on board with the values that you're upholding, you're going to feel disingenuous, ungrounded, insecure. You're going to feel false. So you want to know that you truly believe in what you're standing for. It doesn't matter what it is that you're standing for. as long as you truly believe it. That's what matters. So spend some time in meditation about honesty, integrity, and your own values. And ask your spirit guides to be present with you to help you do this work, to work through any guilt that arises from not honoring or recognizing or understanding your own values, because there'll be some stuff that comes up, and that's okay. That's part of the work. It's part of the work. Don't shy away from it. Don't shy away from it. Feel it, honor it, recognize it, forgive it, move forward from it, right? Ask for help in gaining insight into your patterns. Have you been dishonest? Do you have a pattern of dishonesty or a lack of integrity? Or maybe why you're not, what's the pattern that's holding you back from honoring your own values? Understanding those core beliefs, whether they are valid core beliefs or not, will help you then decide whether or not to continue to honor those core beliefs or to let them go. And that's important too. So when you make yourself a promise that you will do better, and then allow yourself to forgive yourself wholeheartedly and step forward with joy and love and compassion and kindness for yourself, without fear, without worry, without anger at yourself, step into this new space and allow yourself to stand in your own integrity fully and truly. It's a powerful place to be. When you've forgiven yourself for being human, choose to take control of your own destiny. Begin to honor the things that are most important to you, regardless of what they are. The things that are most important to you need to be honored and recognized and loved and experienced, and they need to be a part of your life. Make a list. Make a list of all the qualities that you value in life. If you're not sure about what actually you do honor and value, if you're not sure what your value system truly is, if you've sort of always been following along whatever your teachings or your family or your society have told you that the rules are, ask yourself, do I actually agree with these rules and regulations that I'm following? Or do I want to take a different path? Is there something that is more important to me than following these rules? It's important that you ask those questions, because you can't truly stand in that integrity, that self-understanding, that self-respect without first knowing what they are. So, it's helpful to ask yourself a few inspirational questions. So think about these things if you're really wondering about what your values are. Think about people who you admire and ask yourself, what are the qualities that I admire about them? Why do I admire them? You can ask the 5 whys. They're always fantastic. But is there a specific quality that you admire about them? And then also ask yourself about specific situations, something that made you feel really good about yourself. And then ask yourself, why did you feel good in that particular situation? What was it that caused you to feel good about yourself? And even think about times where you felt proud of yourself. What qualities brought you to those moments of pride? What did you do that you felt good about? Think about, and maybe are you proud of other people? What makes you proud of other people? It's not necessarily the accomplishments, but the values that got them to being able to make that accomplishment. Think about those things. And then think about how you wish you could be. Then where does that value, or where does that quality translate into a value? Do you wish you could be happy? Okay, well, what does that actually mean? What does happiness mean? Does it mean security? Does it mean happy, content relationships? Peaceful relationships? It's those descriptive words that are values. Peace, contentment, joy. You can even go online. You can search for value ranking templates. There's a bazillion out there. They're super helpful. If you're really struggling, check those out. The key is to spend time deciding what your top values are. Maybe top 5 or 10. And then you want to keep that list of your top 5 or 10 values somewhere where you can see them, where you can refer to them really regularly, where you can remind yourself, these are the values that matter to me. These are the values that I am incorporating into my everyday life. And then here's where it really starts to make a difference. The next time you feel unsure about something, if you're unsure about how to stand in your integrity, if you're feeling insecure, if you're feeling unbalanced, ask yourself if the options presented to you support that value list or degrade it. If what's in front of you degrades your value system, degrades or takes away from that list of top 10 things, then the simple answer is no, I'm not going to participate in this. It's actually quite empowering. It's actually really empowering to be able to do that. To be able to say, you know what? This doesn't fit into my value system. I'm not going to do it. It actually makes life a lot easier. All right. Once you've sort of made that list of your top 10, spend some time sending healing vibes to your spirit guides and ask them to support you in your efforts of honesty and integrity. Okay? So, you're not healing yourself. You're sending to the higher power, to the guides that help you, saying, please support me in this effort. Because I know being in this human body can be difficult and it can pull me in a million different directions. And sometimes it's hard to stand in integrity. And it's nice to have that extra support. And then do spend some time healing yourself. Heal your gallbladder. Your gallbladder is attached to your liver. Your liver is on your right hand side under the right ribs. The gallbladder holds the energy of guilt. So if you have Reiki, apply Reiki and Reiki symbols like the Daikomyo, the Seiheki, the Kriya, the distance symbol to the gallbladder. The gallbladder is connected to the solar plexus chakra. Just allow positive, healing, friendly, yellow, happy energy to flow into the gallbladder and the solar plexus. And forgive yourself for these past digressions. Just simply resolve to do better in the future. We're only human. We can only do what we're able to do in that moment, and that's good enough. Sit here, breathe into this area. 10 minutes, 13 minutes, 9 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever, but commit to a period of healing and forgiveness. And when your belly starts gurgling, you know you're doing good work. It means the lymph is flowing, healing is happening. It's a good sign. I always like to offer honor and recognition to those teachers who have helped me with these lessons. Today, definitely Walter Lubeck, the author of Reiki Way of the Heart, definitely influenced this video, this lesson, and I honor and recognize him for his teachings and the work that he's done for the Reiki community in the world. And I honor and I recognize you for all the work that you have done so far, and all the work that you're going to continue to do, and just for being the amazing human being that you are. Namaste. Blessed be. I'll see you in the next video.